Welcome to the Entertainment Earth, new toys, action figures, and statues, other stuff panel with me, Adam Pawlus. This panel is from July 2019. Information may have changed since what was originally presented. We love this stuff, and we hope you do too. You could be watching Mario Maker 2 videos right now, but instead you're watching this great panel. If you couldn't be at Comic-Con, you missed Biff Bang Pow, Funko, Kid Robot, The Coop Originals, Onell Design, Monogram, Eagle Moss, Super 7, Spin Master, and Hasbro stuff, but don't worry, we got you covered, because we're going to start looking at everything from the panel, starting with Kid Robot. Disenchantment is new for 2020. These blind boxed figures come with accessories in a nice big brick. Matt Groening, who did The Simpsons and Futurama and the Life in Hell comics, worked with Josh Weinstein, who did the fantastic Mission Hill, to bring you one of the great medieval animated streaming comedies of our time. Possibly the only one. 14 new mystery box figures are available at some point spring 2020. The new season of the show premieres on Netflix in fall of this year. Figures include Elfo, Zog, and Lucy. They have cool accessories, limited articulation, and if you're a Kid Robot fan, they've been making wonderful little figures for years, and big figures. Blind boxes from Adult Swim, all kinds of cartoons. A buddy of mine and I used to drive around Los Angeles looking for their Simpsons figures back when those were new. He got a Marge, by the way. New from Biff Bang Pow, Entertainment Earth. We've got convention exclusives from New York Comic Con 2019. It's like a look into the future, only with no winning lottery numbers. You'll be able to get In the Heights pinmates. We have Usnavi, that's Lin-Manuel Miranda, here at San Diego Comic Con, which may not be going on by the time you hear this, but all 6 figures will be sold in a box set at New York Comic Con booth 502. You can check the Entertainment Earth website for pre-orders or orders of these depending on when in the future you are listening. Just like you can look for the angry Rick and Morty Mr. Meeseeks Jack in the Box. This figure, you wind the crank, he comes out, and he surprises you, and he's angry. Because he exists. He should solve your problems, but, he's got to solve his problem before he can stop existing. The non-angry version was originally introduced at San Diego and will be available online while supplies last. The same deal is going to happen with the Mr. Meeseeks Angry Push Puppet. This figure has a Meeseeks box. You push the button at the bottom, and he kind of collapses. The tension in the string lets go, and he falls over. When you let go of the button, he pops right back up again and is ready to help you out with whatever you want. Standard version at San Diego, angry version in New York. Don't read too much into it. The Gandalf the White push puppet from Lord of the Rings will also be at New York Comic Con. He has a staff. You shall not pass this up. Gandalf the Grey is at San Diego or on entertainmentearth.com while supplies last. Keep in mind all specifications and features for everything are subject to change. The regular version of Beetlejuice debuted at San Diego, but we had to do the crazy theme park looking one with the giant mallet hands, the ears, the spinning hat, something that looks very German expressionist, and we like German expressionist film. The Beetlejuice base has the logo, and it looks really cool. Lydia Dietz unfortunately could not be here for this encounter, but you'll be able to get Beetlejuice in New York with the first Kiss Alive 2 action figures. They've never done these figures with this lighting, as far as we can tell, on any figure ever. This is your first chance to get them. They are similar to the Love Gun figures at San Diego Comic Con, but you won't see this lighting, you won't see this particular exact look anywhere else. Also at New York, the battle-damaged version of Wonder Woman's Invisible Jet, the Pinmate set. Cheetah and Wonder Woman come with a wood jet. Since wood can't be invisible, we're working on it. If you have any advancements you can share, let me know. But the battle damage is real. Painted on like it's been shot, but it's still invisible, it's still a jet, and the figures are still compatible with your favorite classic wood or plastic figures of this form factor. It is not based on the movie next year, but they go nicely with that if you are so inclined. The convention exclusive will be available at New York Comic Con booth 502, as we keep saying. Same thing about the Pinmates Batman 1966 Batmobile. Batman and Robin come with this cool set with Wayne Manor and the Batcave. It's pretty cool. The wheels are there. The inspired by George Barris design is there. Batman and Robin look like the Adam West and Burt Ward versions of the characters on the TV show from really the beginning of color television. This is a great retro toy, a cool retro design, and if you want a version today, check our website. We do have the San Diego version of the Batmobile that may be in stock when you hear this. It's hard to know. You're in the future, I'm in the past. That's how time works. The Coop is a company that makes really cool stuff. Star Trek dog collars, arcade machine backpacks. Like, there's the licenses you like with the product things you dig with the stuff you never thought existed. That's what the Coop is really good at. And every time I walk by their booth at Toy Fair or anywhere else, I'm excited to see what they've got. And I said, hey, Cappy. And he's like, well, Mike. I go, Cappy, what do you got for me for this exciting panel? And he's like, well, I got Ghostbusters handmade by robots. And I'm like, what's that? We got this. They are vinyl figures. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man's about 4.5 inches tall. I have the prototype here in my office, and it is great. It looks like a sock monkey, a knit plush toy, but it's plastic. The buttons for the eyes look like buttons. The body looks like it was made from an old soccer blanket. Every little bit looks like it was stitched, but it's not. It was a digital render extruded lovingly in vinyl, and I think this is amazing. These are going up for pre-order after the panel, which means by the time you see this, they should be up, and the price, subject to change, is around $12.99. I think it is cool because it has exciting features like a tag on its butt to help for stabilization. It might have something printed on the final one. We don't know. This is just a prototype. And if you look at the close-up of the head, you can see the amazing texture and detail. It's also about the same size as other popular vinyl figures, and a smidgen shorter than my original Kenner 1980s Real Ghostbusters hollow vinyl figure, which I have here at home because I love that thing. Joining the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man will be Slimer, the Green Ghost. He's also up for order now. Other licenses for the Handmade by Robots line are coming, but stay tuned for more on that because they're not ready to talk about them yet. Monogram is a convention staple. If you are in the industry and you go to Toy Fair, you go to Comic-Con, you go to the other Comic-Con, you probably see Monogram, and you know their stuff. They make great heavy-duty keychains, vinyl banks, paperweights, figural collectibles of all kinds, keychains. You go by their booth, you're going to see something that you or someone you know love. And I said, hey, Monogram. Actually, Carrie said that, hey, Monogram, what do you have for us? Can you show us a couple of things? And they're like, we got a couple of things like Star Wars and Classic Monsters from Universal. I'm like, that's great. And they go, no, we got a lot more things like Harry Potter and Nightmare on Elm Street, Sanrio, Kingdom Hearts. That's a lot of stuff. Well, we got to talk about all of it. So let's get started. Some of these you might have already seen, like Friends. You can order these right now. They should be shipping shortly after the time I'm recording this, so you might even have them. But Rachel, Phoebe, and Monica are TV royalty. Joey, Ross, and Chandler, everybody loves them. The couch, Marcel, Gunther, the Central Perk logo, and a frame photo of no one in particular make a great collection. We're not going to go on this too long because they're already around. As is the horror plush bag clips. Pennywise and Georgie from It will join Annabelle, Freddy Krueger, and from Beetlejuice, Sandworm Beetlejuice, and Lydia Dietz, a.k.a. Winona Ryder, in this great collection, possibly available now. But wait, you say, what's coming in the future? Well, I can't tell you, because Frozen 2 is a closely guarded secret. I can tell you that the license is currently at Monogram. I can't tell you what the things are, but I can tell you the big marketing date for Frozen 2 is October 4th, along with Force Friday. So that's the day you can get your new Star Wars Triple Force Friday stuff, whatever they're doing for Frozen 2 that I'm not allowed to talk about yet. But Monogram is known for a variety of great products like bag clips and keychains and other things like that. You should look at what those are happening right now and then go, I wonder if that would look cool in Frozen 2, because the answer will be yes. As will Disney Christmas keychains. Nothing says cool like Christmas because it snows and it's the holidays unless you live in the desert like I do. Ariel, Belle, Tiana, Mickey, Minnie, Winnie the Pooh, Tinkerbell, Stitch, Lilo, and Piglet are just some of the characters that are coming out as the Disney Christmas keychains. You get ugly sweaters, Santa hats, great dresses, everything you need to have a holiday on your keys every day. Also coming in October, the Universal Monsters keychains. I love classic monster movies. Frankenstein's monster, The Bride of Frankenstein, The Creature from the Black Lagoon, The Mummy, Dracula, Invisible Man, The Wolfman, Phantom of the Opera, The Hunchback, and Mole People, and of course, the Metalonian Mutant from This Island Earth, also in Mystery Science Theater 3000 the movie, are the kind of things that should possibly excite the monster fanatics out there. They're keychains. They're going to be awesome. And it's a great way to scare your keys into not getting lost, is what I'm going to say. I don't think I can promise that, but we're going to say it. Star Wars 3D foam bag clips will join them. These cute figures are made out of a 3D foam material, and they're all based on the original Star Wars movie from 1977. That's why you get Darth Vader and a Stormtrooper, as well as Luke, Han, and Leia, R2 and 3PO, Obi-Wan, a Jawa, Greedo, and a holographic version of Princess Leia. I love this movie. I've built my life around this movie as far as my career and hobby go, so hopefully you're as excited to see these as I am. It's a brand new Star Wars thing, and you can pre-order it on Entertainment Earth when you hear this, as long as you're not so far off in the future they stop making them. Along with Kingdom Hearts 3D figural keychains, also known as Synergy. I couldn't believe it so long ago when I heard Squaresoft and Disney were going to join forces to put out a role-playing game combining Final Fantasy and Disney animation. It seemed like an April Fool's joke because that's too cool to be real. And here it is. 3 games later, plus half games and side quests and all that. And this is Series 4. A new version of Sora will join. Mickey, Ventus, Dark Aqua, and others. And since Keyblades are a primary weapon in the game, keychains are an appropriate collectible. You can add them to your Keyblade, but you shouldn't stab anyone with your keys because that's not okay. In November, Deadpool's back for Series 4. Deadpool loves unicorns, cupcakes, mass transit, being knocked out, donuts, tacos, ramen, all kinds of stuff. This series of keychains will be out hopefully in time for the holidays. Everything is subject to change, and that's why we're showing you the concept art of this and Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Series 6 is due now, which means Series 1 through 5 may be available on EntertainmentEarth.com today, and you can pre-order this one nowish. Harry, Cedric, and others are going to be available, as well as dragons, merpeople, anything you could possibly want out of magical killer creatures from some one-off area near England. Here you go. I'm babbling. That's why we're going to move on to cats. Series 2. These figural keychains include a cat in a tie, cat in a hat, cat with different eyes, cat in a banana, cat with a pumpkin on its head. These are all things you'd like to see your cats do, so you could post them on the internet and achieve meme immortality. Unfortunately, your cat will do what it wants to do, and there's really nothing you can do about it. You can try training him, but it's impossible. Don't even bother. One thing you can count on, though, is that these cat keychains are not going to wander off with your keys because they're not real. They're just keychains, and they're really cool. You can get these randomly packaged at some point in December, and of course, you can order them from us. We'll send you a couple. We'll send you a case. We love to send things to people like Sanrio, 3D bag clips. I was super excited to see this because Tuxedo Sam was my boy. As a kid, I had a plush Tuxedo Sam that could change color in the tub, and I'm always excited to see new Tuxedo Sam stuff because usually the only penguin stuff you see out of Sanrio is Bats Maru, or at least it was when I was in college. Hello Kitty, My Melody, Keroppi, and the others are going to join these 3D bag clips some point close to the end of the year, and maybe it'll mean it'll move a little bit, but that's life. Sanrio stuff remains very popular, but it's not the only thing coming up from Japan. From the great people at Monogram, they let us know that in 2020 they've signed new licenses like My Hero Academia. That's the only other Japanese one. Also, you're going to see stuff from Minions: The Rise of Gru, Trolls 2, which comes out for Valentine's Day, and Godzilla vs. Kong. As to the specifics, we can't show you yet. They make us swear on a stack of toy catalogs not to tell you exactly what's happening yet. But I said, can I show them one more thing? It's Comic-Con. And they said, okay, we have some concept art. It's not approved by the vendor, so you got to tell them. Magic the Gathering 3D bag clips, new series in 2020. These Planeswalkers are coming, and as of now, all subject to change, and this isn't necessarily final art. There's 11 styles coming in mystery packaging, not unlike the cards that you've been buying for years and years and years, where you could put together your fire-breathing goat by combining the right cards together and attacking others as a fire-breathing goat, as we all want to do. Everyone wants to do that in life. Don't deny it. Fire-breathing goats are the way of the future. They're going to power your car, and when they get too old, it's lunch. Next up, Hasbro is one of the great companies that makes toys. Mr. Potato Head, I believe we've been told, is the first TV advertised toy, and that's a big deal because toys, how do you find out about them? You go to the store, you see them on TV. Back when I was a little kid, you got a catalog the size of 2 phone books that showed everything coming out for the holidays. That doesn't happen anymore. That's why we're here to tell you about this. And we're here to tell you about Littlest Pet Shop Lucky Pets. I saw these when I went to Hasbro, and I'm like, I gotta show these to people. These are cool. Last year we had Lost Kitties, which were cats in Play-Doh in milk cartons. Yes, I've got some on my desk. I have Toilet Cat I'm looking at right now as I record this. And I thought these are really cool. And I'm excited to see new kinds of packaging. Because growing up, you had a blister card or a box. Now you've added foil bags, mystery or otherwise. And Hasbro is trying to one-up things because people like to do unboxing videos on the YouTubes. And they said, hey, how about a fortune cookie? And I'm like, that sounds great. I'm hungry. And they go, no, you don't eat this. It's just a packaging thing. I go, oh, okay. So inside every cookie, you get a little pet, a little charm, a decoder message, and a little paper fortune thing that you can decode using it. And we're going to see a narwhal, a giraffe, an elephant, a seahorse, a rabbit, a wolf, a porcupine, and they promise about 150 pets this year. There will also be multi-packs, and I think this is a really cool way to do packaging. Again, that cookie, using air quotes that you can see because this is a video, it's just paper, and it's really cool. But also really cool, if you miss them, 5 days from now, at your desk, when you're pretending to be working, Star Wars! July 23rd, 9 a.m. Pacific, you can pre-order the Retro Collection. These are new figures based on the 1978 Kenner originals. They were sold at a big box store recently, but most stores didn't get them, and they sold out really, really quick when they did. If you missed them, Luke, Darth Vader, Princess Leia, a Stormtrooper, Chewbacca, and Han Solo will all be available to you in a case of 6 on entertainmentearth.com. Hurry, offer expires while you wait, yada, yada, yada. I had all the originals as a kid. I still have them. And I want to get these because I wasn't able to find them at said big box store. The packaging comes pre-weathered. It's just white streaks printed on there. It's not actually like scuffed in the mud, so it's not like every two are different unique battle damaged snowflakes. They're the same. So just get yourself a case of these. You'll be fine. Transformers are more than meets the eye, and Transformer Selects are de facto online exclusive special Transformers for collectors. And we've got a couple of new ones. If you are at Comic-Con, delivery permitting, we have or had these available. I don't know how it's going to shake out, but you can order them on Entertainment Earth after 5:30 p.m. on July 18th. Depending on when you hear this, that's probably in the past. So get Lancer, heroic defender of Cybertron. She was in the episode The Search for Alpha Trion with the other woman Autobots. Their only appearance on the show. They've shown up in the comics since then, but they were left behind on Cybertron to defend the planet from Shockwave while the Autobots went to Earth with the Ark and had all their adventures you saw in the cartoon. She can go from a robot to a Cybertronian car and back again. She includes one hand blaster and a hand, and that big hand lets her become a combiner limb for a big robot. If you collected Combiner Wars or Power of the Primes Transformers, you can build a big robot, and this is the one I have in my basement. I'm waiting for the last arm, so it's all put together, just waiting for her. And if you're waiting for her too, you can probably order yours right now. She'll be joined by Shockwave! Not Shockwave. Galactic Man was a toy sold a long time ago in the 1980s at Radio Shack. Radio Shack had all kinds of special toys, some of which are from Japan in unique colors, and Galactic Man is marked on his chest. He has that black and silver deco and turns into a starfighter that looks kind of like a laser toy that he turned into back in the day. This one doesn't have battery-powered light-up optics, but it does have really good light-up eye ports, so if you were in a relatively well-lit room, little parts of them will look like they glow a little bit. The armor is removable. You see he has these big shoulder pads with extra arms and backpack, as well as lifts on his boots. These are not necessarily things you have to leave on there. You can take them off the robot and combine them into like a hover platform. It's pretty great. And you can theoretically have it now if you order it. Also, the last Transformers Mighty Mugs are coming for the time being. Grimlock has 3 faces. He will be joined by Ratchet, who is happy, surprised, and angry. In the comics, he's usually just kind of angry. Windblade, who has a normal face, a gassed face, and a happy face. And of course, Soundwave, who should have no expressions, but he has a normal expression, a slightly distrusting expression, and a worried expression. He's very cute, and these are available nowish. Joining them are the last Captain America and Star Wars Mighty Mugs. It's always possible more might get out, but right now it looks like this is kind of the end of the line. It's going to be a little bit lower of a run than usual. If you're a completist for any of these characters, go check out your favorite toy web store, which I hope is Entertainment Earth right now, for availability of what might be it for the Mighty Mugs. And these come in great stackable containers, which I can't recommend enough. So pick these up. Great packaging, good figures. About 4 inches tall. Super 7 is a staple at San Diego Comic-Con. The San Francisco company designs apparel and toys and collectible figures and designer vinyl. They've made coins to give away. They've made all kinds of goodies, artwork, you name it. If it's something a fan might like, Super 7 tends to be involved in some way. They made the first reaction figures a few years ago with the Alien stuff based on the old Kenner prototypes. I love those things. And we're happy today to talk about some of their offerings. At San Diego Comic-Con, you, depending on the time you hear this, can see, will see the Super Cyborg Megatron from Transformers. It's an all-clear version of the figure. The normal release coming later this year is fully painted in Generation 1 colors, which we'd like to show you, but I don't have a picture as we're recording this. The clear robot, you can see the chest, but you can also pop off a chest panel and see inside. So if you want to customize it, you can do that. This version, it has 7 points of articulation. It's mighty big, and it looks pretty cool. It goes with the Optimus Prime sold last year. From Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Ninja Pizza box reaction figures get you the 4 green teens in a hybrid style between Playmates from 1988 and what Kenner might have made in 1978. The figures have 5 points of articulation and their signature weapons. The colors and overall look closely mimics what Playmates did, but not the articulation. There will be additional Ninja Turtle reaction figures in the future. We are not at liberty to tell you what they are at this time. They wouldn't tell me, but there will be more. That I got confirmed, so stay tuned for that. Toxic Crusaders Keshi Surprise, previously sold as Muscle. The Keshi Surprise come in more colors and aren't quite like that. They are available in a small trash can. You can order these online right now, as well as the 2020 Deluxe action figures. These were displayed, or will be displayed, or are displayed right now at the Super 7 booth. Ren and Stimpy with interchangeable faces. You can do your best Peter Lorre impression if you like, and your Larry Fine impression. I'd like to hear them. And trade out the fezzes, the faces, and all kinds of stuff. Rubber nipples. Toxic Crusaders has Toxie. The Playmates style of figure has been abandoned, but the colors were kept because these are 6 to 7 inch super articulated action figures that go well with your other similarly large and classic figures, just like Voltron. These are all coming next year, and these kick off more figures of this type from Super 7. Also coming, Toxic Crusaders reaction figures. This is slightly different from the Toxic Avenger reaction figure, because this is the cartoon style as opposed to the movie style. It's a 3¼ inch action figure, 5 points of articulation, and a mop, just like you like, currently slated for December. Dr. Caligari from the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is another German expressionist-inspired thing because this is a real German expressionist movie. It's coming in September 2019, a little ahead of the 100th anniversary of this movie because cinema is so old, there's 100 years of this stuff. The figure has a cool hat, a great sculpt, and it looks like something that might have been made in the 70s. Just like the RoboCop reaction figures. The whole line was shown at Toy Fair, but unpainted. Now we have a first look at the painted Officer Murphy with his gun. It looks pretty great, and you might be able to see this at the convention if you were there. I'm not 100% sure if this prototype is going to make it out, but now you can see what it looks like. And of course, Kenner had a line of RoboCop toys in the 90s, but this is how it would have looked more in the 80s, theoretically. Super 7 also received a license for New Japan Pro Wrestling figures. Can I tell you which ones? No. Did I ask? Yes. Do I know? Possibly. But they're going to be coming at some point in the near future, at which point we will talk more. They also received the My Pet Monster reaction figure license. This is a big plush toy from the 80s, along with My Buddy and Kid Sister. It was like having a sibling-sized toy for children. This one is going to be sized to play with your 3¼ inch action figures. We don't have all the details yet, but it should be out in November of this year. Coming next year, Wolverines. Red Dawn 3¼ inch reaction figures. Pictures weren't ready for the panel, but the license was signed, so we have to mention it. Red Dawn. Also, Mars Attacks. Classic trading card set. Great movie. Lots of toys over the years have been made based on all incarnations of Mars Attacks. These new reaction figures in 2020 are going to be based on that original trading card collection. Pictures aren't ready yet, but we're really excited to see what they're going to be. 3¼ inch scale figures. Will there be exploding ones? Will there be blown up soldiers? I don't know yet. They weren't ready. But we're going to have more hopefully to see around Toy Fair as far as that's concerned. Onel Design, the Glio System series of action figures. This is an indie action figure line that I first found out about when Matt Dowdy was at San Diego Comic-Con, I want to say in 2006 or 2007. He had the prototype for the original Faden figure that he showed me, and I had no idea who he was. It was the first I've seen it, and he's a cool guy. It's like, okay, it's great. I can't wait to see what happens. And a couple years later, he mass-produced the figure himself out of contacts with a Chinese factory, and today he's released hundreds for sure, possibly more than 1,000 figures of his Glios System series. Other figures are compatible with these, like Outer Spacemen, the figures from Fallout you might find at certain big box and game stores, Power Lords, Kalgrim, Kabuto Mushi. There's a bunch, and they're all really cool. Don't forget RoboForce, of course. But this is a new one from Real X Head and Onel Design called Feos. It's kind of designed off of a Sofubi figure from Japan. These really cool, really limited, really expensive vinyl figures for collectors. And they make them in runs of 20, 30. They're small. These are made in slightly larger numbers. The figure's about 3 inches tall. He's articulated at the shoulders, hips. Every point is able to be taken apart. So you have this really cool figure, and you can switch his head around, and you can switch his thighs around, and it changes his pose, and you have an alternate head on the back of the head. So it's like 2 figures in one that can be taken apart completely, and you can swap parts with other figures like this orange Faden and get something totally different. And all of the figures are pretty nicely compatible. There's like 1 or 2 that's a little bit of a tight fit, but you can reconfigure the figure to a 2-headed monster, a crab monster. There are parts included in this figure where you can bash 2 of them together. But that's not what's new. It might be new to you because this is not a widely known line. This is one of the most limited lines of action figures anybody's making because the highest run is usually in the very low 100-ish, I think, nowadays. It's not huge. The next version of this most likely is going to be the metallic silver Mutant Evolver Feos. It's going to be kind of a gray silver color with some teal on it and some black, and it's going to be great. The eye deco is amazing on these. I've got the first couple releases. Love them. I'm looking forward to the glow-in-the-dark one. Between you, me, and the wall, I'm hoping the new blue glow-in-the-dark plastic they've started using comes out, because Glios glow-in-the-dark figures are the best glow-in-the-dark figures. The blue glow will last overnight if you charge it with a UV flashlight. It's amazing. Speaking of amazing, Eagle Moss. They also made a great glow-in-the-dark USS Defiant from the original Star Trek series, which I love to pieces. Their Star Trek ships and Battlestar Galactica ships are great. They also do WWE, some superheroes, and Harry Potter's Wizarding World. These figures are starting to be available now. You can get Fantastic Beasts and Harry Potter characters. They come on little display stands, they come with little magazines, you can read about your favorite characters, and it's a neat collection. You get about 1 a month. And there's also special editions, one of which we get to reveal today, and that is Niffler. This 5 1/5 inch figure comes with a base with some coins, and he likes to transport to banks and whatnot. If I could let him loose on my couch, I could probably make 50 cents. It'd be pretty handy. The window boxed figure will be on sale in October. Pre-orders coming soon to your favorite toy stores near you. We're also very fond of Funko. That's my Hikari Freddy Funko, one of my most prized Freddy Funko toys. I like Hikari stuff a lot. We're going to look at a new Pop Vinyl figure. That's just there for show. And the new Pop Vinyl figure will be an exclusive inspired by comic art, which inspired a previous Comic-Con exclusive, that 20-inch Batman figure, which inspired that gentleman to make the costume and come to our booth. That's why I love Comic-Con, that people see something and make something even cooler out of it. The figure was great, but seeing the guy walk around, that's really something cool. And if you like that, you'll like the Pop Vinyl figure, which we have in various stages. This is the original concept art drawings, so you can see the front and back. We also have the first render, And when I was making the panel, that's all we expected. But at the last minute, we got a sample, so I can show you the first 3D printed sample of this figure, and you can tell that it looks pretty great. This was a white figure with black, red, green, and purple artwork, and it matches that other figure very closely. I think it's fantastic, and I'm looking forward to having one because, of course, I am. And this will be coming out in the future. We don't have a release date as of my recording this, but it's one of 3 marvelous exclusives. I can't tell you what they are, but they're amazing. I hope that's not too subtle. Dragamons from Spin Master is a line of collectible figures with trading cards. The whole blind package toy craze continues, and they're doing pretty well. Everybody's got different takes on them, and this one I thought was interesting because each figure is a little dragon, about 1.5 inches tall, give or take. I got one on my desk right now as I record, sitting next to one of my old Dynamites figures back from the 1980s, and they're about the same size, except the Dragamons figures have a lot more paint and they're a little bit more complex in terms of their sculpting. The one I have has painted horns, painted back. This one has some translucent flame elements and tiny little painted eyes. And when I saw the prototypes at Spin Master HQ when I flew out there a couple months ago, I thought, there's no way they're going to look that good on the final. And they do look that good on the final toy. It's really astonishing. But they're these great little guys and they're collectible. And each one comes to you in a box, and that box comes in an egg. Each egg, you can see the seam on this thing, is kind of a hard plastic on top and a crumbly plastic on the bottom. What you're supposed to do is take it and smash it down on the table, and then you take the figure out. And that's pretty great. The styles of dragons are many. There's one season here. There's some really cool stuff coming up later, hypothetically, for season 2, but we're not allowed to talk about that. But you can see they're based on various animals. There's a little porcupine one with spines. There's an eagle one with feathers. There's one that looks kind of like a buzzard. They've done some really cool stuff, and they have normal figures, which you'll probably get. There's also Mystics and Ultra Mystics chase figures. These sometimes have special features like clear plastic, but they're a similar design, so if you want to collect them all, you've got your work cut out for you. Each animal-inspired 1.5-inch figure comes with a pack of about 6 trading cards. One of those is sort of like a checklist rule thing. The other ones are kind of like your typical trading card game cards. They have various powers. They tell you a little bit about the figure. There's some artwork on it, and you can play a game with it. So it's like getting the pack of cards with the figure, which is 2 things for the price of the thing. This is an armadillo. There's also an eel, gorilla, centipede, boar, frog, giraffe, and others. The boar has a cool snout. The eel has those barbell things. There's also a really neat lion. And these are all going to be available somewhere near you in the near future. So check those out, won't you? Thanks for watching. This has been more or less the panel. There were some cool things only for the live audience. I'm not going to say there was a bag full of free toys because you missed it. Nobody wants the FOMO thing, but you should have been there, man. And there's going to be some things we're probably adding at the very last minute that as of my recording this, we don't even know what they're going to be yet. So thanks for watching. Keep checking out this channel for more exciting videos from Entertainment Earth. Watch our social media feed at EntEarth just to see if we have anything else new. And of course, entertainmentearth.com. You can order a lot of these toys now-ish, and we'll send them to you as soon as they're ready. You can also contact your local comic book store and tell them to order these toys for you through EE Distribution. It's like a wholesale thing. And that's it. I'll see you next time at whatever panel it is I happen to be doing in the future.